Tonight is a community service of the New York Institute of Technology.
Covering the news of Nassau and Suffolk Counties, Long Island News Tonight with Ken Eckhart, Carol Peck, and the award-winning LI News team.
Good evening. I'm Ken Eckhart, and here's what's happening. Well, Long Islanders woke up to the aftermath of another winter storm today with thousands of power outages, icy walkways, and a morning commute riddled with numerous traffic accidents. The overnight storm left outdoor surfaces coated with as much as a quarter-inch of ice, and residents had to spend time cleaning off their cars before heading out on the icy roads.
This morning it took me about an hour. I had to run the car and then scraping to get the highs off. And then the driveway was very slippery too. Very careful.
My commute, not too bad. I have a four-wheel over there. I had no problem at all getting to work. Brought my kids to school, and doesn't bother me.
I guess that's the secret.
Yeah, you got to take slow steps too, so the ice, so you don't fall.
They said we were supposed to get like a quarter-inch of ice, so you have to drive a lot slower, and you have to be much more careful.
It's reported 18,000 people lost power at some point because of the storm. The Long Island Power Authority was busy today removing ice-covered branches from trees that were weighing down the power lines. Here by Jerusalem Avenue and Daffodil Lane in Wantagh, homeowners say they're among those who lost power. And nearby Wantagh High School and Middle School were closed today because they had no power.
Yeah, no school. We lost power in the Wantagh High School and the middle school.
The last couple of storms have been off, so thank God it hasn't affected me that much.
By mid-morning, rising temperatures melted some of the ice and snow, causing flooding. But the warmer temperature didn't come soon enough for a Westbury gas station, where a canopy collapsed under the weight of the ice. Well, maybe it's wishful thinking, maybe it's true prognostication. But on a day when local groundhogs had to dig out of a burrow of ice, only Holtzville Howe is predicting 6 more weeks of winter. His Nassau counterpart, Malvern Mell, reportedly called in his prediction for an early spring to City Hall after an outdoor Groundhog Day event was canceled because of the ice storm. He didn't see his shadow, but how could he, considering he was indoors where it was toasty and warm? Over the river, Staten Island, Chuck is also predicting an early spring, while in Pennsylvania, Punxsutawney Phil did not see his shadow, signaling an early spring. And if you like to follow the antics of Georgia's General Beauregard Lee, well, he told his followers on Twitter, no shadow, early spring. Nassau County Police say a Crime Stoppers phone-in tip led to the arrest of a man on weapons and probation violation charges. Police say the anonymous tip reported that 49-year-old Charles Maroney of Hicksville had illegal firearms in his home and an open felony warrant in Orange County for a probation violation. Yesterday morning, officers arrested Marone without incident. They say he had a loaded Winchester rifle in his car, 2 illegal handguns, 4 rifles, and several thousand rounds of ammunition in his home. A Long Island man has been charged with scamming prostitutes on at least 2 occasions, offering to pay them, then afterwards claiming to be a police officer, promising not to arrest them if they give the money back. Police say 40-year-old Umar Loog of Elmhurst pulled the scam twice, once back in 2009 in Jericho, and again this past October in Plainview. He reportedly showed the victims a New York City Corrections badge. He was arrested yesterday, charged with larceny and criminal impersonation. And Nassau County Police are investigating the death of a man whose body was found along Rockaway Turnpike in North Lawrence early this morning. Police say the man was discovered around 2 this morning with what appeared to be fire burns to his body. Some reports say the man may have been trying to keep warm with a portable flame and accidentally ignited himself. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene, and police are asking to hear from anyone who may have information about the incident, and they say that investigation is ongoing. Well, hundreds of people had to be evacuated from several buildings at Kennedy Space Center today because of a natural gas leak. NASA spokesman said the leak early this morning was caused when a backhoe struck a natural gas line. As a precaution, workers were evacuated from facilities, including 2 orbiter processing facilities, which are the hangars for the space shuttles Atlantis and Endeavour. No injuries or damages were reported, and everyone was sent back to work. 3 more space shuttle missions are planned this year before the program is finally retired. The shuttle Discovery is next, with a launch scheduled later this month. And Long Island's MacArthur Airport is now listed as a New York City airport by the Federal Aviation Administration. That means the Long Island Airport will now appear in searches for airports in the New York City area. And that could increase the popularity of MacArthur Airport to passengers and to other airlines as a simpler alternative to the city airports. Previously, the airport had been listed as an airport that served Islip Town. Well, it's a mixed day on Wall Street today. The Dow finished the day up almost 2 points. NASDAQ was down just over a point, and the S&P was down 3.5 points. NYIT's LI News Tonight continues after this.
See a screening of the film Devil in a Blue Dress at New York Institute of Technology's D. Seversky Center in Old Westbury on Wednesday, February 9th at 5:30 p.m. For more information, call 516-686-7567. Long Beach seniors can learn safe driving tips at the AARP Mature Live Driving Course at Long Beach Public Library on February 9th and 16th at 6 p.m. For more information, call 516-432-7200. The Jerry Tobin Irish Language School is giving free Gaelic classes in Babylon starting Thursday, February 10th at 8 p.m. For more information, call 631-521-1227. Or learn the history of Long Island train stations at Northport Public Library on Thursday, February 10th at 7:30 p.m. For more information, call 631-261-6930. If you have an event you'd like included on the LI News Tonight community calendar, send it to linewstonight@nyit.edu.
In Melville, J.B. Buno, LI News Tonight.
In Bethpage, Stephen Katove, LI News Tonight.
At Belmont Park, Sophia Allen, LI News Tonight.
These are just a few of the people who have been reporting the news for LI News Tonight over the past year, and you could be one of them. Television news is an exciting and challenging career that could put you in the middle of what's happening and in touch with the people who are making the news. A career in television news journalism can offer you the opportunity to work as a reporter, camera person, or videotape editor, or any number of behind-the-scenes jobs, including producing or manning the assignment desk. And it's a career that can be yours by joining the LI News Tonight news team. Produced at studios on the campus of the New York Institute of Technology, LI News Tonight offers television news internships that can earn you college credits and the possibility of being on the air in just a few weeks. LI News Tonight has been the jumping-off point for many local and national news professionals, and you could be next. Call 516-686-7952 for more information on how to enroll for LI News Tonight, and let us put you on the air. Among today's top headlines around the world, there were scenes of chaos and fighting today in the streets of Cairo as thousands of supporters of President Hosni Mubarak clashed with the anti-government protesters who have taken to the streets for more than a week. Some of the Mubarak supporters rode horses and camels through the crowd, using whips on anti-government protesters. Some of the protesters dragged the attackers off their horses, throwing them to the ground and beating their faces bloody. And the fighting escalated into outright street battles. Gunfire rang out as some soldiers fired in the air in an attempt to control the crowd, and scores were reportedly wounded, including some journalists covering the protests. Among them, CNN's Anderson Cooper and 2 Associated Press correspondents who were reportedly roughed up in the crowd. Cooper says he and his crew were attacked by supporters of President Mubarak today. CNN later said no one was seriously hurt. European papers reported that a Belgian journalist had also been beaten. More drug violence in Mexico. Suspected drug cartel gunmen hurled grenades, burned vehicles, and blocked streets in Mexico's second largest city, Guadalajara. One official says the attacks appear to have been coordinated and blames them on the drug gangs. Assailants burned public transport vehicles to block streets and hurled grenades at a police station and vehicles last night. Attacks wounded a policeman and 2 transport workers. Other attacks took place in 2 other cities, including Monterrey, resulting in several deaths. But officials say those attacks did not appear to be coordinated. And another theory about who was the inspiration for the Mona Lisa. An Italian researcher says the main influence and model for the Mona Lisa was a male apprentice of the artist Leonardo da Vinci, who worked with Leonardo for years starting in 1490. Art historian Silvano Vincetti said today that several Leonardo works, including St. John the Baptist, were based on the apprentice, and that similarities with the Mona Lisa's nose and mouth were evident. This is one of many theories surrounding the identity of the Mona Lisa, ranging from a self-portrait to a Florentine merchant's wife. Well, we've all heard the warnings about the dangers of texting while driving, that we should be keeping our minds on what we're doing and not letting ourselves get distracted by our iPods and cell phones. Well, that may soon also apply to when we're out walking and jogging. Legislators in some states, including New York, are proposing new restrictions on the use of electronic devices that keep us from hearing and thinking about what's going on around us. A proposal in Arkansas would limit earphones only to one ear so that the other ear is aware of your surroundings. While in New York, State Senator Carl Kruger of Brooklyn wants use of the devices banned altogether in busy pedestrian areas.
I don't think it's really necessary, you could say, to fine people for walking on the street with an iPod or a cell phone, because it's people, it's life. Technology is rising, and you can't stop someone from texting. It could be a family member that's texting.
Really, I find it to be completely absurd. People should be able to listen to and text and do whatever they feel like while doing. Motorists do it, and I know that's a big accidental cause because you're operating heavy machinery. All I'm doing is walking.
But this woman told us she thinks that might not be such a bad idea.
We see it all the time. People get hit, people cause accidents. So maybe it has to be considered. I'm not so sure that the measure should be so strong, but something really should be done. It's becoming a big hazard.
Well, if the New York proposal is passed, violators could face up to a $100 fine. The federal government is looking for ways to crack down on bed bugs. The pesky insects have infiltrated New York City and turned up everywhere from swanky hotels to homeless shelters around the country. Well, now they are the subject of a 2-day National Bedbug Summit in Washington. The question is what the federal government can do about them. While remedies to control the critters have improved since the last national summit 2 years ago, the Federal Bedbug Working Group, as it's called, still faces an uphill battle. The insects are difficult to kill, and research has shown that bedbugs are developing a resistance to pesticides. Well, after the overnight ice storm, we had a pretty much rainy day today with temperatures rising to up near 40 degrees during the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low in the low 20s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high in the upper 20s. Friday, partly cloudy, a high in the low 30s. Saturday, chance of another wintry mix with a high up near 40. And the outlook for Sunday, mostly sunny with a high in the upper 30s. And that's it for NYIT's LI News Tonight. I'm Ken Eckhart. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.